been a minute. I've waited a bit longer between episodes this time. Well, episodes. It makes it sound a bit more grand than it is, but between videos. And I've taken so long, not because I thought, the last one was so long, I should make this one a bit shorter. Or, like, if it's going to be longer, then I can wait longer between the videos. It's because the day after I made that one, I started an Elden Ring co-op randomizer playthrough with one of my school friends. And he's got a very similar mind about the game to myself. So for the last 3 or 4 days, we've just... I'd get home from work, or we'd both get home from class, and we'd just play until like 5 in the morning. And by then I would not have time to record. There is also the matter of I've been working on new visuals for the video, which is a strange thing to put effort into when the videos themselves are intended for use when the screen is off. I don't know if it's picking up on the mic right now, but my laptop is some 5, maybe 4 feet away from the microphone, hopefully far enough, rendering out a new scene to be used as a background for the video. I modeled it in Blender, which I didn't do for the previous one, depending on whether I decide to use the currently rendering video for the background of this one. Hold on, this doesn't make sense as a sentence. I may choose to use the currently rendering thing as the background for this one, or I may choose to use the one that all of the previous ones have used, the more winter-themed one. That one was made in a game. It's a fun game that I've been playing for a very long time, and over a arguably dreadful but very interesting year of my life, I played the game a lot more than I ever had, met a lot of interesting people on it, and I got very, very, very good at building in that game. Most of the things I built in that are in somebody else's, like, server or save, right? So I don't have access to them. But in the wake of a major change in my life, I guess multiple major changes, I had built the world that I've been using as a background for these videos, as well as the thumbnail. If you look at the background of the videos, if you were to be there and then rotate the camera 45 degrees to the left, you'd see the area where I took the thumbnail picture. I've always found just building things alone, sort of for myself, to be very cathartic. Like, I had friends who played Minecraft with me, sort of, and I had friends who played Minecraft but not with me, and I played a lot of Minecraft. I was never a server guy, though. Not very often, anyway. I wasn't a minigame person. I wasn't an adventure map person. Most of my time on Minecraft was spent alone in my own world, building castles, laboratories, wonders, messing with command blocks, trying to recreate things from other games, all that kind of stuff. Just alone, to show nobody. I have a really long story about it that I might tell in detail at another point. But to make a long story short, I wiped my hard drives in the year 2021 after my computer was frequently blue screening without any real explanation. And I backed up all of my Minecraft stuff, as well as a few other 3D modeling things, onto a laptop hard drive that I had laying around, and I backed up my other files onto other hard drives I had laying around. But when the time came that I wanted my Minecraft files, which wasn't until months later, I couldn't find any of them. I couldn't find the laptop hard drive either. I had dozens of identical looking hard drives, and I forgot to label them, and I tossed ones out that I thought were broken, and it's entirely possible that I tossed out the one with my Minecraft files on it. Over 20 years of builds. I had every file, like from when I got the game, I had my first world still on there. 20 years. If my younger self found out about it, he would be furious. Sort of a weird coincidence about it, though, is I think the night before, it might have just been the same week, but I think it was the night before I decided to wipe everything, and I made those backups that I lost. I on a whim decided to show one of my not very Minecraft inclined friends a few of my worlds, explaining the sort of lore of the land and such, and halfway through doing that, another friend showed up who couldn't sleep, so to help him sleep, I restarted and showed him all the world. So as of current day, only 4 people have ever seen the worlds. All of them, anyway. I would sometimes show them to one of my siblings. And my sibling would do the same in turn. I spent a lot more time on my stuff, though. They were more of a survival person than a creative person. I've always been a creative builder. Like, creative mode, not, oh, I'm so creative, yay. I'm not bragging about having a creative mind or something like that. But creative mode versus survival mode. If you've played Minecraft, then you probably know what I'm talking about. And at this point, who hasn't? struggle a lot with brain fog. Like I mentioned in a previous video, I can only really think straight when I'm in the shower. Whenever I'm not in the shower, everything's just sort of jumbled. Even right now it's jumbled. I can't critically think about the brain fog in my current state, and in defense of my arguably functional brain, I'm quite tired. I played Elden Ring last night till 5 a.m. and then I had to get up for work at noon, so not a lot of sleep there, and that's probably affecting me. But the brain fog feels detached from that somehow. It probably isn't. That's probably the cause, but you never. I lack the expertise to pin down the cause. It affects me creatively though, because I'll absorb like all this information and all these techniques on how to do things and how, like things that would improve my work. I collect references and like gather tutorials, and then when it comes time that I probably need one of them, they never resurface in my brain, and I just sort of have to brute force any creative decision until by chance I might come across whatever it is I knew I had and needed at that time. But a lot of the time it doesn't come around. So I just sort of give up, which is not good. Not good at all. I've been trying to give up less. Another thing that I've always been a fool about is tutorials. For whatever reason, I've always felt like following tutorials and using references feels cheap. Like, it's like cheating. What do you mean? It doesn't come straight from your brain. What do you mean you didn't figure it out yourself? And you're just borrowing somebody else's notes. And that's stupid of me. Because nobody in their right mind should do anything from scratch. Now, there is like a line to be drawn for some things, but generally speaking, if I'm to do anything from scratch, then I should make my own computer with its own boards, with its own operating system, and write my own software. That way I can not accredit my oh, I've lost my tongue. I cannot accredit my success to anyone other than myself. But that's just unrealistic. I have wasted too much time trying to figure out things on my own, but I could have just looked it up. Like, I spent, I think, 2 hours trying to figure out how to get good-looking water in a scene build I was doing. And I couldn't get the water good-looking enough, so I gave up. And then I was doing another scene build, and I needed water again. And I spent, again, hours trying to figure out how to get good water. And then I eventually caved and looked up a tutorial, and it took 2 minutes to figure out what I was doing wrong. And then, there we go, we have good water. I even went back to the other scene build and fixed it there, and good water. I need to get over my tutorial phobia, I guess. forget if I said this in the previous one, before or after the guitar thing, but I likely won't do a guitar thing every video. Maybe once a week. Like, again, I only know how to play like 60 songs, and that's not that many in the grand scheme of things, and a lot of them are not applicable to this kind of environment or situation. Moreover, what? Hold on, I've lost my train. Right. Moreover, a lot of the songs I know how to play are quite sad, because a lot of my motivation to play the instrument comes from what I've been said. And I don't know if playing especially sad songs is good sleep aid, especially if somebody who is sad and is trying to get their mind off things, and then they hear me play like, I don't know, like Casimir Pulaski Day, which is a song about, it's from the perspective of a boy who fell in love with a girl who got diagnosed with cancer at seemingly a young age, but you can't really, I don't think any specific age is mentioned, but the themes are like how it's affecting her and how it's affecting the people around them and the decisions they make in their youth, knowing that she's going to die, and there's an overarching theme of like Christianity. So they're both, whoever the people in the song are, they're all Christian, they go to church. And the singer is sort of, well, whoever the song is from the perspective of is sort of resentful of God when she's taken from him. It's a happy tune, audibly, right? It has a nice happy chord progression, but the lyrics, if you were to listen to them, they paint quite a sad, devastating picture. And I feel for a lot of people that would hit a sore spot, so picking songs for this is quite hard. Wanting to do things that you feel you're adequately talented at is odd. Not as in like, oh, I'm good at painting, so I want to paint, but like when you have a demonstrable talent, like playing an instrument or singing, you can't really, there isn't a lot of opportunity in everyday life to demonstrate that to people. Like, I can sing, look at what I'm good at, right? Acknowledge me, validate. And I guess the same applies for painting, right? If you're nervous about, like, you know you're a good painter, but you're nervous to show your paintings. Like, you don't want to be... Oh, what is that noise? Hold on. It seems somebody had just gotten up. Anyways, you don't want to be that person who's constantly pushing their work onto other people. Or like, not their creative work, like constantly going into server chats and being like, look at me, look at my paintings, look at my art. Or maybe this is a me thing, I don't know. I always feel like I'm being a bother whenever I start playing the guitar in a public space, or like at a party, or places like that. Or if I just like drop myself in a corner in like a social game with the mic on and just start playing something, I feel like I'm being a bother. So I don't do that very often, if ever. And dropping my art everywhere, or like commenting it on things, or like dropping it in Discord server channels or whatever, feels like I'm begging for attention. And yes, I do want attention, but I don't want to beg for it, right? That feels sort of like shameless, and I don't know. It feels wrong to me to constantly seek it, but I say that, but I don't apply it to other people. Like, I love it when people share their art, especially if it's good, right? Like, if they're good at what they do, I love to see it, right? And whenever I encounter somebody playing an instrument through their mic in, like, a social game, like VR chat, I will always sit down and listen, because I love it when people play music. Well, not, like, play music through their microphone, like playing like a soundboard, but like playing an instrument and singing, or just playing an instrument. I love it when people do that, but I feel like if I were to do the same thing, it feels like I'm vying for attention too much. Maybe it's silly to sort of have a double standard like that on myself, but I can't help it. It's just there. It's just how it is. It's fun to think that, like, no matter who you are, or how you view yourself, or what gender you are, to somebody out there, if you've like played an online game, or gone to school, or been in a place with a lot of people, somebody out there sees you as that guy who did this, that guy who did that, guy being gender neutral here. Somebody at my work knows me as that guy who had a handful of almonds for dinner, because on one instance, when I didn't feel like eating, and I got back from my lunch, and one of my coworkers asked, "Hey, what did you have for lunch?" My lunch being around dinner time. And I said a handful of almonds, because I wasn't very hungry. They sort of latched onto that as a bit, and then told several people. And there are several people at my work who know me as that guy who ate a handful of almonds for dinner. I'm that guy to them, right? And in online games, if you're particularly eccentric, or you did one notable thing at any point, you will become that guy to somebody. Maybe they'll forget you as that guy, but at least for a moment, you're that guy to somebody. And that's fun, right? It can get a little existential if you think too deeply about it, which I'm not going to do here. But at like a surface level, being that guy in somebody else's story is a fun thing. Another fun thing to think about is personalities between between friend groups. I see a lot of memes about such things, right? Like, I accidentally used personality A with friend group B. But everybody has them. They've got like the face they show to their family, the face they show only to themselves, and the face they show to their friends, the face they show to strangers. I've never really liked the masks analogy for it, because having it be masks makes it seem like you're hiding something, or you're lying, or it's nefarious or evil, when it's really not. It's not that simple, and B, completely normal. I doubt there's like that many people on this planet who use the same personality with every single person they've ever met. I myself have I'm now thinking that maybe the word personality is the misnomer here. Like, a personality disorder is like a complete change of person, right? But is small behavioral changes, or changes in etiquette, or changes in accent, or just manner of speaking as a whole, is that a change in personality? I don't know. Either way, I have many, right? As many friend groups have different boundaries and different interests and different vibes, I have different personalities to accommodate. I've got a different personality with my parents, with my co-workers, with friend group A and friend group B and friend group C, right? Not one of them is me, but all of them are me, right? Like, I'm different when I'm alone, but to some of my friends I'm the exact same when I'm alone. I'm the exact same. So, and there also comes the thing where strangers are with any given group, so you have to adjust your personality accordingly, right? Like, oh, there's a stranger in the middle, like my parents are having guests over or something like that, so you have to change your personality from the one you use around your parents to one more accommodating of strangers, but still the one you use around your parents, right? It's fluid like that, right? I don't know, I'm not a psychologist, or any kind of ologist. I'm just a boy. Homo sapien. A thought I had that I proposed as a hypothetical to a friend was, this is more applicable to like the creatives among us. But if you could like restart your creative journey, whether you started like drawing as a kid or drawing as an adult, if you could like restart and have significantly more funding for all the tools and software and equipment that you could want and need, do you think you'd be a better artist than you are now? I've wondered this to myself for quite a bit. Because I think musically I'm bottlenecked from learning the piano on account of not having a piano. It's something I'm trying to fix. But I also had a piano as a child, so I don't think that would have changed anything. Like, we used to have an upright piano in one of the rooms in the house, and it left with my oldest brother, and it's at his house now. But when I was in, I think it might have been middle school, I had a keyboard, like I think it was a Yamaha, I'm not sure, but I had a keyboard, and I would play it sometimes, but not very well. I never really committed to it. It was more of a set piece than anything, and I remember removing it so I could have a workbench in my room. Still don't know where it went though, because it's not in the house. It's not in any storage boxes, it wouldn't fit. It just sort of disappeared after I left my room. We still have the seat from it though. That sits in the garage. Garage. That's another accent thing. I've heard Canadians say garage. And I am Canadian. I'm going to reiterate that. I'm not like from anywhere in particular, I'm just Canadian. Anyways, the piano, no idea where it went. I think I'm going to do with this video the same thing I did with the last one. Slightly different though. Or, no, that wouldn't work. Okay, here's what I might do. I might finish recording this and then edit, export. But since I don't have the background yet, I either need to decide to use the old background, because that's not going to finish rendering anytime soon, the new one, or wait till tomorrow to use the new background. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to use the old background, and I will render this overnight, the video itself, with the old background, and then upload it in the morning, so I can actually get a good night's sleep. Because staying up any later than what it is currently, which it is almost 2 a.m, would be a bit dangerous, because I really should get to class tomorrow. in light of that decision, I think I will end this one here. I know that you, the one who's been commenting, has been saying that the videos could be longer. The consequence of the longer videos is the longer in rendering time. Longer in rendering time? What? Longer rendering time. There we go. Maybe I'll make one of them every once in a while, over an hour long, or up to an hour long. But for now, they're all going to be around 20 to 30 minutes, like this one. Thank you for commenting, by the way. You've commented on almost all of the videos that are out. And it's nice to have someone commenting, because it feels less like screaming in the void, and it gives me a wall to sort of bounce things off. I've lost my tongue again. Bounce things off of and see what sticks. Also, thank you for commenting the name of the song. I forgot to put it in the description. My bad. Yeah. Oh. To my frequent commenter and anybody else listening, I hope you have a good night. I hope you can fall asleep 20 minutes ago, or perhaps just after this finishes. I hope that tomorrow your day isn't too hard, but it's just hard enough to give you a challenge. Yeah. Sleep well. Good night.